Okay, what is your full name?
Constance Frederica Connell.
And who are your parents?
Samuel Woodman.
Okay. And your mother's name?
Beatrice.
Okay. And what was your mother's maiden name?
Van Tassel.
Okay. And when were you born?
1906.
And where were you born?
Let me see now. Yeah, I was born home.
At home, okay. And how large was your family?
Oh, there were 10 of us.
And where do you fit in the family?
Number 2.
2 from the top or 2 from the bottom?
From the top.
Okay.
I had a brother older than me.
Okay, so what did your father do for a living?
Well, he had a big farm, and, well, he catered to the public that way. They came there to get grain thrashed and things like that, and potatoes ground and things for winter.
Okay, Connie, why would they grind potatoes?
Oh, well, I don't know whether they ground them, but they put them through the thing to, perhaps
Okay.
just to peel them, I don't know,
Okay.
because
What-
I was so young.
What do you remember about your mother's work day?
Well, she was a seamstress, a tailoress in her day. And she was just a slight woman. And she was sick quite a bit.
So did she work right out of her house?
Oh, no, not when we were kids. This is before she was married.
I see, okay.
Hmm.
Okay, what was a typical school day like for you?
I had to walk 2 miles up and 2 miles back each day that we went to school up at Acaciaville.
Oh, yeah.
That was in my younger days. Then I went to Digby School in my senior years.
Right.
Hmm.
Okay, what kinds of things did you have to memorize in school?
Oh, we had to memorize lots of things out of the books.
Right.
I don't remember just what they were.
How were you disciplined in school?
Well, the boys sat on the side of me in the school, and they'd put their foot up and they'd jiggle the seats on me
Oh, yeah.
to get my attention. And then one day the seat fell down and my hit my chin hit the table,
The desk?
the desk in the schoolroom. And because I wouldn't pay attention to them, I was kind of shy from those boys, there in Digby. And then as they grew older, they wanted to make friends and said they were sorry and all this, boys 12 and
Right.
13. And so I got through school and I went nursing.
So where did you go to become a nurse?
Well, they took me in, the first doctor that had a place there, the foot of Town Hill. And the doctor came here from the States, and so they brought me in as a nurse's aide. And I stayed there 5 years and got my degree, Dr. Roberts. And then after that, the man I married, he clerked in a dry goods store. And I married him and had 4 children.
Do you know the name of the store that he worked in, Connie?
Well, it turned out to be Wright's store.
Okay, that was Norman Wright?
Yes, his people came from Newfoundland. No, Prince Edward Island here. and they opened up a store there, and he clerked in there as a patient. Yeah.
Okay, what were your daily chores at home?
Oh my gosh. Anything to come along at home. What do you mean? Was I was a child or?
Yeah, as a young child.
Oh, I had to do everything there when Mom was sick. And I remember one of my brothers, he got in the bathtub, and well, it was the bathtub then, it was a tub near the stove, and he burned his bum.
Wow.
And so we had to put a patch on that and take care of that till he got better. He was just a year younger than me.
After your chores were done at home, what would you do with your free time?
Oh my gosh. Oh, I took music lessons, and I played the piano or the organ. We had both.
Right.
And
Who was your music teacher, Connie? Do you know?
yeah, Nettie Dakin.
So you would go to her house for lessons?
Once a week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember what it cost?
Oh my dear, I don't know what they paid her. But
Did you like piano?
but I had to walk in there, pretty near 2 miles, from home into Digby. And one time my cousin had a car, and he'd drive me in right after he had his meals, and I'll take you in that far that day. Harley Woodman, yeah.
What was your favorite holiday when you were a child?
Oh my goodness. Well, we played a lot of bat and ball
Right.
out in front of the house, because Mother put a sign up over the kitchen window so nothing get broken.
What was your favorite holiday? Was it Christmas or Easter?
Oh, I think it was my birthday.
Yes. And what did you like about it so much?
Well, because I got what I wanted.
Okay. Did you have any pets when you were growing up?
Oh, yes. Now, what was that? Oh, a lovely cat. A lovely cat.
Do you know what color it was?
Yes, it was brownish color and cuddly.
What was his name?
Cuddles, as far as I remember.
Right. How much spending money did you have as a child?
I didn't have any unless someone gave me a quarter or something and saved it.
Right. Okay, what was your religion?
Church of England.
Okay, and what were Sundays like in your house when you were growing up?
Sundays, well, my father and mother would bring someone in from the church, and they'd play the organ and sing for the evening.
Oh, that was nice.
Yeah.
Okay, what was your favorite hymn?
Oh, now, let's see. I took music lessons, and what was that? I always played that before I left taking music lessons. Oh, my land, I can't remember the name of the hymn.
That's okay. Okay, what influence did religion have throughout your life?
Well, it taught me a lot to be nice and decent to other people.
That's good. Okay, how did you keep up with what was going on in the outside world, outside of your community?
Well, we had to invite them home mostly.
Right.
Yeah, have them come here, Mom would say.
Yeah.
And I'll bake a batch of cookies or something to give them.
Oh, that was nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what kinds of things, vegetables or meat, did you people grow and raise your cells?
Oh my goodness, Dad grew everything on the farm.
So what kind of animals would he have had?
Well, we had sheep and oxen and horses and the pigs. I don't know how many, but he had them.
Okay, what did you barter for? Did you trade your vegetables for anything?
Oh no,
No.
no.
So you raised and grew everything that you needed.
Needed there on the farm, Dad
Okay.
had.
So how did electricity change things for you?
Oh yes, that electricity. Well, that came later in my life. Yes.
Do you remember when you got electricity?
Yes, oh yes, I remember when that came in, but I don't remember the date.
Right. So what was it like in your house with electricity?
Well, we had to turn the lights off certain things so it wouldn't be expensive.
Right. Do you remember when you got running water?
Oh, we had a big tank upstairs and turned the tap on downstairs, a great big downstairs place, like a tank.
Oh, yeah.
And then the water ran off the roof in it,
Right.
and then we turned the tap off downstairs for not to drink, but that was the kind do laundry and that.
Right. Okay, what was bath night like at your house?
Well, the boys did theirs one night, and the girls did theirs the next night.
And how often? Like once a week?
Oh, yes, sometimes they'd be dirtier than that, and then they'd have to do them the next night.
So you were all, and were you all washed in one of those big galvanized tubs?
Oh, yes, that's right. Because I know one brother, he was washed right there. He had to take the bath by the stove, and he bent over and
Yeah.
got his ass burnt. Excuse me. A spot on that.
That would be awful.
Yeah, and my father was a member of the parliament then. Yeah.
So what did your father do? If he was a member of parliament?
Well, he went to the government house in town, and whatever come up, he had the saying of it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what it was then as a child.
Okay, who was the doctor when you were growing up as a little girl?
Dr. DeVerney.
Dr.
DeVerney?
DeVerney, okay. So how far away did he live?
Well, he's just in town, and we lived a mile and a half out from down.
Right. Who delivered the babies in your community?
Well, he would come out, and then they'd get a maid,
Okay.
yeah, to stay with her till the baby was born.
Okay, Connie, what were some home remedies that would have been common when you were growing up? We've heard some stories about mustard pack.
Oh, yes, you had
Right.
mustard patch if you had a cold on your chest. Yes, oh yes, indeed.
So do you know any other remedies?
Oh, well, I suppose they had a little drink or something there they give 'em hot.
Right.
I don't know what it was.
So if somebody had cut themselves, what would they have done?
Oh, they soaked them in water with iodine or something.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so how did you take care of your teeth?
Oh, I had good teeth. Oh, I just brushed them.
Right. How often would you see a dentist?
Oh, well, if we thought one was getting a little discolored, we'd go in.
Right.
I would go in.
Okay, when someone died, what was the wake like?
Oh. Now, I was quite young when that person died. Well, we stood and then they sang hymns and that.
In the church or at your house?
The church, I guess.
Right.
Yes, at the church.
Okay, so how often did you get to leave Conway?
Oh, every day to go to church and school.
Right. This is when you're growing up.
Yeah.
When you're a teenager.
Yeah, and then I went and took music lessons, so that was
Right.
once a week.
Okay, what were the roads like when you were growing up?
All, all dirt roads, and they kept plowing them out and plowing them out. And
So
we'd
who-
take shortcuts.
So who looked after the roads?
Well, they hired men from the government hired men,
Okay.
I suppose, from the community.
Okay, so what did you expect to do when you grew up?
Well, the doctor thought I should be a nurse.
Is that what you always wanted to be?
Well, I didn't want to teach school.
Right.
No, I had enough in the school. And so when the doctor came from the States, he came and asked me if I would go and do that. He said, "You're just the one we want."
Yeah.
And so I went in the little Digby hospital, and it only had 12 beds.
Really?
Well, now let me see if I'm right on the 12. Dr. Roberts said it. Yeah, he wanted to open an office here. He came here at Tupper Warren's. And then he said, "Get her." He said, "She's more used to the children and the families." That's me.
Right.
And so I went there and stayed there 5 years and looked after them, washed them and bathed them and took their trays up to them.
So, Connie, where was the first hospital that you worked in?
Well, the one that tore down the foot of Town Hill there.
That would Brad Amero store?
Yes.
Right.
That was it.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, how many, besides the doctor, how many nurses would have been there?
Oh, well, there'd been, let me see, me, and there'd been a night nurse and another nurse.
So, just 3 of you.
Yeah, at that time, and if anybody wanted a special nurse, they'd ask them in
I see.
and pay them according.
So, do you remember how much you got paid for that first job?
What?
Do you remember how much your pay was? How much money you got?
Oh, I don't know. I'll remember how much money. Oh my goodness, how much was that now? Because they give it to me in a check. Oh, maybe $10 or $15.
Yeah. So,
But
did you like that job?
Well, I kind of liked it because when my mother was sick, I looked after her before I went there.
Right.
Yeah, and they came for me, the doctor did, and said, "You just come in." They said, "We got a job for you in the hospital."
So, do you remember where you took your training to become a nurse?
Well, right there.
You right at the hospital.
Right there.
Boy, that was.
Whatever they taught me.
So, did you like being a nurse?
Well, it wasn't hard.
Right.
Yeah.
You must have got to help a lot of people that you knew.
Oh my goodness. And we slept right in the hospital upstairs, I remember. And yes, I'll never forget that.
Okay, so as a teenager, I'm going back a little farther now, Connie. As a teenager, what kinds of things did you do for fun?
Oh, we played ball with the kids.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did you ever go to any movies?
Oh, we were occasionally, when there was a price on for, a medium price on, they'd let us go.
Okay. So who were your movie idols?
Well, just long as we went to a movie, but I'll tell you a movie. My husband and I, do you want to go that far?
Sure.
We went to this movie, And just as he got there, we'd been out to supper to our friends, and he had to go to the bathroom. I said, "Oh my God, why'd you go before you come in?" And while he was out, someone else come and sat with me where he sat.
Right.
And I took hold of his hand. I thought it was him that was there. It wasn't him at all. And a couple of behind me was poking me in the back, and it was the ones that we'd had supper with. And they kept poking me. And he got laughing, so he was a traveler that we dealt with in the store. And he said, "I never laughed so much that you held on my hand." I said, "Well, why didn't you piddle before you come in like this job?" Oh my goodness.
What kind of music did you like?
Oh, I had to take music lessons. All that was on that thing she had there. Some was religion and some was just, musical.
Right. Okay. So what do you remember about dating?
Dating,
Yeah.
I could have had lots of dates, but I didn't know what they were like or whether they were going to take advantage of me.
Right.
And I thought, well, this is it. I'll find out. And I asked the doctor one time. I said, "So-and-so has asked me to vote when I was in the hospital." And he said, "I guess he's all right." Well, I said, "If he isn't," I said, "he's going to get the flip."
What's the flip? You're flipping him upside down?
Punch him.
Funny.
In those days. Who else is listening here?
Just you and I.
Oh. Oh my.
Okay, so how far did you go in school? What grade did you get?
Well, now that was grade 11 or 12.
Okay.
One of them.
Do you know how old you were when you left school?
Well, about 11 or 12.
Okay.
I wasn't any more than that.
Okay. How old were you when you got married?
Oh my dear, now he was clerking in that dry goods store. And I asked the doctor, I said, "Do you suppose I should marry him?" And he said, "What do you think?" Well, I said, "I don't want to have any children yet." And he worked in a dry goods store then.
Right.
And his father and mother wanted me to marry him. She always sat out on the veranda when I went by and say, "Come in, Connie." And I'd say I couldn't because I was going to the hospital.
But you don't know how old you were when you got married?
Yes, now let's see. 19 was I?
Okay.
Around there.
Okay, so once you got married, where did you live?
Well, they gave their house up and went in town and wanted to get out of the big place. It's only a mile out from here, the house where they lived. And they wanted to get in a little one that had a bathroom. Then out there, they didn't have a bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
They had an outside place.
So you took their house.
Well, when they said you and Claude get married, so... Oh, my gosh. And I said, "Dad," he said, "Well, did you like him that much?" I said, because he'd been walking down home with me. Well, I said, "You know what he's like." And I said, "I don't know whether to trust him or not."
Do you know how old you were when you first started your job as a nurse?
Oh, there in the hospital. Yes,
Yeah.
I had to be a certain age. Oh, my land. Doctor who? Roberts. Oh, my land. Well, I just got out of school.
So you were about 19 or 20.
Well, I wasn't 20.
Okay.
No. I'd say 18 or 19.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can you tell me about a typical day as a nurse? The things that you would do?
Oh, well, you had to bathe the patients and rub their back and give them medications and see that they had the right thing.
Right. Okay. Do you remember what your salary was when you started your first job as a nurse?
Now let me see about that. That wasn't very much. Well, now Dr. Dickey was there. I think it was $8.
Imagine. How much tax did you have to pay out of that?
Oh, I don't know about the tax. They took it out before I saw it.
Right. Okay, Connie, back when we were talking about your school days, you were telling me that for your younger years, you had to travel to Acaciaville to go to school?
Yes, I did. That was 2 miles.
Okay, so was that school white and blacks were at that school?
Let me see. I don't think there's any black ones up there. If there was, it was a rare one
Right,
that we knew that the boys played ball with.
right.
But I don't remember them right now.
So when you lived in Conway, did you have a lot of blacks in your community then? Black people in your
Well,
community?
no, they lived right in back of us
Okay,
in Jordantown,
right,
where our home was.
right.
And they'd come down occasionally and play ball with the boys.
So you never had any problems with the black and whites growing up
Oh,
as a
no,
child?
no,
You would have had some friends?
no, oh, no, I knew them.
Right.
Yes, no trouble at all.
Okay. So what do you remember about the Depression?
Oh, they always remember them talking about it and wondered what a depression was.
But it really didn't have much effect
No,
on you?
on me, because we had plenty to eat and he had a big farm and,
Right.
yeah.
So what do you remember about wartime?
Oh, well, war times, men were hiding in the bushes out by home
Why?
because they didn't want to get caught and go overseas.
So did they eventually get caught?
Well, some of them did, and one didn't, I remember.
And what happened to him?
Well, he kept hiding and dodging and hodding and dodging.
And he never went to war?
You know, they didn't catch him. I don't know really what happened to him then. I was taking music lessons then.
Right. So how did the war affect your family?
Well, they never talked about that much. Because they thought a war comes and a war goes.
Right. Okay, what effect did the war have on your community?
Oh, well, a lot of them clammed up having little fairs and things like that.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, they saved their money. But Dad didn't think that. He gave.
Right. So how did people help each other out in days gone by that's different from today?
Well, if they knew them, they helped them.
Do you find that there's less of that today?
I'm not out to see. I don't
Right.
know.
Okay, do you remember anything about the poor farm?
Oh, yeah, the poor farm. My father had to see about that. Yes, that's.
Were you ever at the poor farm?
Yes, oh, yes, I played music down there
Okay.
when they had a funeral.
Oh, at the poor farm?
Yeah,
And they would hold it right at the poor farm?
they would hold it that day.
Right.
Yeah,
So you would go down and play music.
yeah, Muck and my father would take me.
Oh, yeah. So
Yeah.
what would happen to the body after you did the funeral there?
Well, I don't know what they did with it.
Right. Okay. So how important was politics in your day as a child?
Well, keep the mouth shut.
Okay, so listen, would a person get a job depending on how he voted?
Well, they'd wonder how he voted and get him to sign a paper.
Saying how he voted?
Well, where my father was there, he had the doings of some of that, and so he would see which one. We had a man that ran away during the war and hid in the woods there for a long time. Yeah.
And did they find him?
No, he stayed away and hid here and hid there and hid somewhere else. I remember Mom telling me.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What do you remember about election campaigns?
Oh, my dear, that old election. I hated elections.
Why?
Well, they'd come home and have a meeting, and us kids had to get out of the house while they had the meeting,
Right.
because we didn't hear anything.
I see. So where would you go while they had the meeting?
Oh, outdoors somewhere.
Okay. Okay, so how big was Conway when you were a child? Was there a lot of stores and things like
Oh,
that?
no, not stores. There were a lot of houses with families.
And there were a few
Just
farms.
just around the Flatiron, yes. There was, they called it the Flatiron.
Right.
And everybody had a little garden.
Do you know why the Flatiron got its name?
No, the Flatiron was shaped like it.
Right. Yep. Okay, so how was the law enforced in your community?
Well, what to do?
No, was there any policemen back?
Oh, no. No. They sort of left that up to my father.
I see. So, what was your father's job, basically? He was a...
He was a farmer, and he was a man that did shopping for, not shopping, but he had a mill that ground grain and that sort of thing.
Okay, so did your father employ other people?
Well, when he had that opened, he did,
I see. So how
but
many...
not all the time.
Right. So how many years did he have the mill?
Oh, no. All he had all the time I was there, I don't know.
Right. Okay. So there was no police in your community?
Well, no, each one took their own way of dealing with things.
Right. So who were the better off people in your community?
The better off.
The rich people?
Oh, I don't know whether I knew or not.
Okay.
Each one had their own dealings.
So what was who was the largest employer in your community that would hire the most people?
Well, I think my father was.
Okay. So do you remember the number of employees he would have had?
Oh, maybe 5 or 6.
Okay. And he owned it himself, the mill?
Yes, he did.
Okay. How big was it? Can you describe it?
Well, he ground apples for people to make the juice for them.
Okay.
And then he cracked grain for them.
Mm-hmm.
He had a mill, like. And each day, certain days, that would he do it. Yeah. But we weren't allowed to go down there when he was doing it.
Okay. Okay. Did you belong to any organizations like the Rebeccas or anything?
Oh, well,
like...
I wasn't old enough.
Okay. As you got older, as a teenager or in your 20s, would you have joined any groups like that?
Oh, not until I got married.
Okay. And what group would you have belonged to?
Oh, now let's see, when I met that person. Oh, my goodness. I was I was in the hospital nursing then. Yeah, I went in nursing. Dr. DeVerney gave me permission to go in there.
Okay, Connie, when you were first married, or while you were married, when would people get together for a good time?
Oh, once a week, and that was sing-song.
Okay, and where would you get together?
At my house.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. They all liked it because we had a piano. I took music lessons.
Right.
And we had an organ there, too. And so then we'd have something to eat. Mom would have it all made.
Right.
For to feed them after it was like, let me see, a Friday night or Saturday night. I don't know which.
So about how many people would come to it?
Oh, let me see. It would be 4 of the men out there, or 16 or 17, maybe more.
Well, that would be fun.
Oh yeah, it was, because they all liked to come to home. Mom was a good cook.
Right. Okay, so what do you remember about tourism in your day?
Well, it just started then, when I was in school.
Okay, do you know where the people would come from?
Well, some come from different places and hid out in the bush that didn't want to go overseas or anything.
Right. Okay, what was the relationship like between blacks and whites in your day?
Well, we lived right across 2 fields from them, and we knew them all.
Mm-hmm.
My father did, Louise and all them. I didn't bat an eye about them. No.
Okay, Connie, if a black man and a white man both worked at the same job, would they earn the same wages?
Oh, yes.
They would.
Yeah, 'cause I can see Dad feeding them at the table when they come to do work for him, and Mom would have the big table set for them. Mm-hmm.
Okay, how superstitious were people when you were growing up?
Well, superstitious now, what is that?
Well, that would be like if a black cat ran in front of you, or you couldn't walk under a ladder, that kind of thing.
Oh, no, I didn't know anything about that.
Okay, what is the worst weather you can remember?
The worst weather.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember that.
That's
Maybe
okay.
it is.
That's okay. What do you know about shipwrecks around here?
Shipwreck. Well, I don't think we had many ships wrecked here.
Okay. So what colorful characters can you remember?
Well, I remember one character didn't want to go overseas, and he hid in our back bushes there somewhere.
Right. Okay, what ghost stories can you remember from your younger years?
Oh my gosh, ghost stories. Didn't I hate them?
Did you?
No, yeah, they were scary when I was a kid.
Can you remember any of them?
Oh my, I guess so. I get not right
Okay,
through.
that's all right, Connie. Do you remember Maud Lewis growing up?
Oh, yes. Oh, she walked from Yarmouth up.
She walked from Yarmouth up here?
Yes, and I don't know how many days it took her. I was only 11 or 12 then.
So why would she walk up here?
Well, she didn't have money, and she wanted a job, and she was artistic. And she lived just down there by the almshouse, and we went down to see her. And yes, she was quite artistic, and she had her organ painted all different colors in her house.
Amazing.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Oh, yes, I remember her well. Yes, she walked up and stayed overnight from Yarmouth. until she got up there at the almshouse.
And what's the alms house?
Well, it's where the place where they kept the people.
Like the poor farm, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the almshouse.
Okay.
That's just down there in Marshalltown.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So when you used to go to the poor farm and play music,
Yeah.
like, was it a happy place?
Well, when they offered me to play that, why, it was musical,
Right.
like a hymn or whatever it was. It was music.
Do you remember who was running the poor farm at that time?
Oh no, there are many people running it. There wasn't only one person.
I mean, at the time when you would go down there and play music, who was running it then?
I don't know. Dad took me down there to play the music. Oh no, I don't know the man's name or them.
Right. Okay, one more question, Connie. How would you compare life in general today to when you were a little girl?
Compared to, what is it?
How would you compare life today to
Oh.
when you were a little girl?
Well, we took things for granted in those days, what Mother said. Today they don't. They go grab it.
Right.
Yeah.
So do you
They
think...
demand it, want it.
Right. So back in your day as a child, there was much more respect. than
Oh,
what there-
yes. Absolutely. I guess so.
And the old saying that children should be seen and not heard
Yeah.
was very true.
Mm-hmm. And I told you the story about my husband going to in the theater, and as soon as he got there, we'd been out to supper
Yes.
someplace.
That was too funny.
And then the traveler come and sat down there, and I grabbed his hand, and I says, "Why didn't you piddle before you come?" And it was the traveler. And the ones behind me that took us poked me in the back. I didn't know what the hell that was. They laughed like hell about that.
So, Connie, do you have any funny nursing stories that you could tell me?
Funny nursing ones, I suppose.
Can you think of a funny nursing story to tell me?
Well, I don't know now. Oh, there was a patient we had, and he had on his rump there, he got hit by, now what did he get hit by? Something. And it left it about big as a 50-cent piece. And it wouldn't heal. He was playing ball with somebody, and someone hit him in the bum. And so he came in the hospital. Well, and I knew him right away. And I said, he looked at me and his face turned red, and I said, "Don't look at me that way. Turn your rear end up here and I'll fix it, and then you'll be all right." And that was him, and he turned out all right. Yeah. Yeah.
So, is there anything else that you would like to say, Connie?
Anything else? Well, I don't know anything. I don't know. Oh, you got everything out of me.
Right. Well, I enjoyed the interview very much.
Mm-hmm. Now, don't put this in the paper.
No, it won't be in the paper at all.